Luke Sampson and Ashley D'Amboise. Yes! That was the hard part. The rest will be easy, I hope. But so cool. You guys are here with Coastal Championship Wrestling. And my gosh, some of your background already. You've worked for AEW. Also, the Nightmare Factory in Georgia. Ashley, you're training there. And then Luke, you train there, but you're also now coaching there as well.
Yes, I help coach the 12-week beginners classes we do.
That is just so amazing. This is what a journey and all. And first I'll start with Luke. Tell us about your journey to get to where you've gotten now with AEW and the Nightmare Factory.
So my journey started 5 years ago. QT opened up the Power Factory before, the original in Atlanta. So I had moved down to train with him. So I've trained with QT now for 5 years. And then luckily I got started doing stuff with AEW last December. And now we're branching out. CCW debut today, just getting all over, trying to get the name out there, trying to build the brand.
Well, it's interesting because for you, you had no athletic background whatsoever. So to come into this world, what was it like for you when you just that first week, that first month of training?
It was definitely a struggle. Just no athletic background, like you said. I didn't play sports, so it was all new to me, like learning body control, learning how to pick people up, learning how to run the ropes, learning how to use my body in a way that wasn't just, because I come from a technology background that wasn't just sitting there and fixing computers. It's very different. It's hard on the body. I have had bruises for probably weeks. I mean, I still get bruised now, but definitely when you first start, your body has to adapt to it. It takes quite a while to do that.
Well, what can you say about this young competitor next to you and the progress that she's been making so far?
She actually just celebrated a year wrestling. She started up in Jersey. Now she's down in Atlanta. I think she had one of her debut matches in AEW on AEW Dark, and it's just been all uphill from there. Just constant progress. She puts in the work. She's in the Nightmare Factory 3-4 days a week when she's not there. She's in the gym. She's not there. She's doing shows, getting her name out there as well.
Ashley, what was it like for you just to get started in this business, this journey, this crazy world of professional wrestling?
I got started through a friend who was admiring the way that my dance career and my bodybuilding career kind of helped build me to where I was at that point in life. And he was like, have you ever considered professional wrestling? I was like, no. How is that a job? How do people go from like where we are talking now to being on a TV? Because all I knew from there was like the WWE style wrestling. Like, how do I get into a ring from this conversation we're having right now? It didn't seem real. But then after a few years of convincing, I finally went to see a live show, and then I went to train, and my dance background kind of picked up right away. I have an athletic background where I was partnering with people, so I was familiar with moving bodies and landing on my feet. So that was the hardest part, was learning how to land and absorb impact in safe ways that were not like cat-like, I guess, I don't know, on my feet. But there are some moves now that I incorporate more and more that are blending the two realms of like dance and wrestling, because I kept hearing, this ain't ballet, honey. So I was like, oh, well, we're gonna start to twist the reality of that a little bit.
And
some ballet.
That's so interesting because too, footwork is such a key element in this business and all. And I'm just gonna ask, did that help though in the training because you had that dance background?
So I started up, like Luke said, in New Jersey with Damian Adams. He's my first trainer that took me and what I brought to the table, and he was like, right away, your footwork.
Deanna Perrazzo.
Yes, sir.
And many others.
Steels,
Thank
Carissa
you.
Rivera, who is now Electra Lopez. So many people. Karen Q, she's on NXT right now. There's
some good names
people
there.
before me that I know, but those are the main ones that I constantly hear their names and think of them when I'm training. And I still am in touch with Damian Adams. We have a great relationship now that he helped me get to train with QT and Cody Rhodes at the Nightmare Factory. He was that bridge. He's the reason why I debuted on AEW. So yeah,
it's just amazing. And then when you're talking about dance and footwork, and now that you're into this and you're in pro wrestling and all of a sudden you're on AEW and you're doing these indie shows, what are the reactions like from family, friends, and all. And I mean, tonight was awesome. You had a huge fan club there. But I'm wondering, overall, what has it been like for you now that
Let me tell you, because I've been dancing my whole life. Like, they're the reason why I started dancing. I've never had so many people show up to a dance performance as they are now with my wrestling performances. We had 20 people here tonight, plus a few that just showed up out of nowhere from high school that found out. And I was like, you guys, you know I've been dancing for like 25 years before, or however, years before I got into wrestling. And, you know, I have a couple of indie shows down in Florida, and y'all come to these. What? You just want to see me get beat up? So, what did I do to you? So, yeah, the transition is, the reaction's been great. I love it. People are biting onto it. So I'm like, this is where I need to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Well, that's so interesting, listening to her answers and all. And then just Luke, what is it like when you get students at the Nightmare Factory and just trying to get them going, whether it be someone that had experience training or the beginners, because you've been working with the beginner classes?
Yes. So when we get students in, we do the beginner classes at their camps because this isn't for everyone. And some people, they grow up watching wrestling. It's all they want to do is wrestling. And then you get in there and it's a lot harder than you think. A lot of pro sports players try to transition into wrestling after their career in the NFL, MLB, or basketball, and they turn to find out it's a lot harder because it's constantly like beating down your body. Not to say that other sports aren't difficult in their own ways, but in wrestling it's a whole different game. It's a collision all the time. Like in the NFL, you can put on light practice, you can go pads, it's not heavy contact. Like there's no way you can practice wrestling without straight contact. It's all body on body. You're hitting the floor. No matter if they say we're trained to fall correctly, like it's like the equivalent of getting hit 35 miles an hour rear-ended every time we land on the mat. So it takes a definite toll on your body, and some people just can't adjust to that, especially after a career in sports where they're already bad knees, bad back, bad neck. Like it doesn't translate to wrestling. Now there are the exceptions. Satnam, he was an NBA player drafted. He's now just debuted on AEW, worked with him. But the good thing about working with the ex-players is like they know how to put in the work, they know how to do the work, and if it's something they're passionate about, they're there, they're coachable, and they go on to better things once they figure out if it's something they can actually do or want to pursue. As far as just, I call it just normal people, like if it's something like you catch a bug. Like I've seen some people over the first 3 or 4 weeks, they've been kind of hesitant about if it's, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know. But then they get the first thing right, and they start rolling, and it's just something like, something switches on, like, I want to do this, I can do this. And they go on to do big things after the camp. They stay, we run advanced classes as well. They come back, they'll participate in advanced classes. We have shows in Georgia, they go and do local shows and things like that. And then some people, like I said, it's not for everyone. It's not, we have no hard feelings. But something you just decide you don't want to do after 12 weeks, that's fine. That's why we're here, so you can try it out without going other places, maybe getting taken advantage of, or just getting beat up. Unfortunately, this is the old school way that people like to do.
It's an interesting dynamic too, because you can have anyone at any level go to the Nightmare Factory and then find out if this is for him or her and go through that way. And I'm just also wondering, your experience, you mentioned a little bit with the Nightmare Factory and all. Were you able to work on any of their shows yet? And just what was that like if you were able to do that?
Yes. My first entrance into, or the introduction into the Nightmare Factory, I went through their beginners camp, and I'm still in the beginner's mindset. I don't plan on ever leaving that, but I had like 8 months up until that point of training, and then from Damian Adams, and then went into the Nightmare Factory, where we started and kind of built from the bottom and went through the basics, and then we built through 12 weeks of work, and they have their showcase at the end of it. I got to be a part of it in a tag team, and then I was invited back to continue to take the beginners camp. So when I'm training there, I'm not just training in the advanced classes, I'm still dipping into the beginners classes. I'm helping out Luke whenever he lets me. Can I come take the beginner's class today? Can I hop in? I'm free from 4 to 7. Let's go,
That's really good mindset though too, because you're getting your basics and still going over your basics even though you've been doing this. I'll let you both go because I know you have family here, Ashley, and you want to, you're a big fan club and you want to do that. I'm
I
curious.
paid him off. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, there you. Oh, there it is. There's the headline right there. Oh no, I thought at first it was going to be no one wants to see her dance, but they all love watching her wrestle. I thought it was
like
going
the
to be.
second one. I like that.
Well,
one better.
yeah, but I don't know if they'd like that though. If you say that, we just throw them under the bus. AEW, doing that AEW experience, and just what was your mindset that first time?
I wish I wasn't wearing sleeves because my tattoo says Fortis Fortuna Adiavat. Fortune favors the bold. So that's my mindset whenever I am like, what did I get myself into? I'm like, you just go big or go home. Just you have to commit, and that's the #1 rule in wrestling. No matter what trainer I worked with, if you don't fully commit to down to a move, let alone the whole match, like that's when things start to get rocky. So you just commit, and then whatever happens, you roll with the punches, literally.
Coastal Championship Wrestling here tonight. You worked against Valentina Rossi.
Yes.
What was that like?
That was first of all fun because she's the ultimate Italian, the mafiosa, and in Florida, this area, my Italian family lives here. So it was really funny because my whole dad's side is all the French Canadians. My mother's side is all down here, and they were like, I was like, my family's not gonna cheer for me.
They're gonna cheer for her. That's what I was thinking too. That's what I was thinking.
So that's why I was like, when we first started off, she started talking all this crap about being Italian and being better. I was like, hold on, I can't argue with you. I'm half Italian, and actually they're all here right now. So like, let's shake on it. So she was such a great sport. She's a dancer as well. She comes from a dance background. She keeps a lot of her dance extensions in it. Bodybuilding's taken that away from me a little bit. I'm not gonna go and hit a split on anybody, but that it kind of caught me off guard a little bit because she hit a lot of splits, and I was like, whoa, I don't think that way anymore. But it was fun. It was a great match. It was cool for this was my first win at CCW, and I had a bunch of people there in my corner to witness it, so it was special.
Physical match too, which is good because you want to show that physicality as well, so the fans will buy into it and all. Oh, yeah. And you both did a good job working that as well. So
she's a great wrestler, yes.
You both did a good job. And it's so interesting you said about dancing because, right, she had the dancing background as well. And it's so interesting to see the transition of dancers being able to do the professional wrestling and all. Are you hooked now?
Oh, I'm absolutely addicted. It's done. I'm a wrestler.
Luke, how about you? Because you don't have the background of
Nope.
athleticism. Are you hooked as well?
Oh, yeah, I was hooked 3 months in. Like, as soon as you figure, like I said, something just clicks, it's either for you or it's not. And it was just for me. I just kept at it, and I just wasn't going to not succeed. So, as Cody Rhodes says, like, you just do the work. If you do the work, then everything else will fall into place. You can't be focused so much on the destination that you get lost in the journey, because then you get all sidetracked. So you just take it day by day. You do what you have to do to get to where you want to go, and you just have to have faith and work that it'll happen.
And with your tech background, you can use a keyboard now to smash somebody over the head.
Right over the head. Keys fly everywhere.
Well,
Sampson.
yes! Give us anything about the Nightmare Factory if people are interested in checking it out.
Our next camp starts June 6th. I think we have a few spots left. We usually do like a soft cap. Spots get filled up fast, especially now because one of our coaches, Cody Rhodes, he debuted again at WrestleMania. Of course, QT Marshall still in AEW. Big connections with both. We have a camp June 6th, and then the next one will start up. Hasn't been announced yet, but it's usually 12 or 13 weeks after that one. They can go to nightmarefactorytraining.com. You can go there, fill out application, and they can contact you through there.
Want to thank you both so much. You both did a good job. Luke, good match. You were wrestling on the card as well. I know we talked about Ashley's match and also, but want to thank you both.
Thank you.